Hi guys, today I'm making a couple of videos. We're going to start with this one here, which is an update on the white guava, which is coming along really well. This year has been so good. It's been in the ground for one whole year now. So this is just an update on how well it's doing. We can even pull one off here. We've had about a dozen of these. There you go. And very prolific. Though this is the Indian white. And as you can see, they're still growing. They're at different stages. And they're even sending out flower buds in the middle of winter. Look at that. Look at that. Middle of winter. And it's ready to flower. So different stages of fruit and flowers as well. These are ready to open. I don't know if they will open, but there's a few of them there. Flower buds on the tropical white guava. So check out the fruit set. It's just amazing. There's at least 100 guavas here on this young tree. Look at them all. Yeah, so the Indian white guava, very prolific. It's only been in the ground for 15 months, about a year and a half. Check it out. So yeah, the guava does really well here in Melbourne, in the temperate climate zone. Go for it. Plant as many guavas as you can. I've got about 2 more to plant out. Or maybe 3 more. 3 more, yeah. I've got the Chinese pear. I've got the red Malaysian. And the Mexican cream. Okay, let's go and see what the next tree is doing like. This is the custard apple. So I'm only going to be guessing when this is ready. Not too sure. Usually they're ready in spring. So we're gonna have to wait and see what happens with this beauty. They have a different kind of color. They're more of a blue. More blue than the usual green. So I'm not sure if that's normal. If any of you guys know. It's got a bluish color, more blue than green, so maybe it's still maturing, not sure. But the leaves smell really good. The leaves smell like the fruit when you rub them. Yeah, so that's the Paxton's Prolific is the variety. And that's been doing really well here over winter. As for the Chama, not too sure. That's still flowering. It's been flowering all June, which is all winter. And no fruit yet. So I don't know if these flowers are gonna drop from the cold, or if they'll eventually turn to fruit. There's a few of them. Chama, Brazilian cherry. It's doing really well as the tree itself, as you can see. No leaf burn or any signs of cold damage. But no fruit, no sign of fruit yet. And next to it we have the yellow cherry guava, or the lemon guava as you guys call it in America. And these are coming along nicely. They should ripen. That's the only fruit on it this winter. First time it's fruited in winter, by the way. Its main set is in autumn. That is April. So nice to see a second flash of fruit coming from the lemon guava. And here we have the pink guava, the Hawaiian, so-called Hawaiian guava. And as you guys can see, it's like loaded all the way. This one is like insane, this variety. Probably the best one for Melbourne or temperate climates. It's doing so well. We've had about 20 already that have fallen. Look at this one. This one looks ready. There you go. Just came off. Very easy. Very, very easy. The pink guava. Here's another one. This one looks ready. When they droop like that, see the droop? Like ready to come off. Watch. Okay, doesn't want to come off. Usually when I droop like that, they're ready. So just let that go. This one. Nope. Just give it a little bend, and usually you know by bending it it's ready. Nope. I usually pick them up from the ground. There you go. Some of them fall prematurely. The ones that are not fully matured. As you can see, I just grab them and just throw them in there with the rest. These are immature, and we've had a bit of damage from the wind. It's been very windy. As you can see, some of the branches have broken off. So there you can see some old guava that's fallen prematurely from the wind. And I've put a couple of stakes here. Look at that, support. Oh my God, we don't want to lose the tree. And one fruit has lodged itself here. That's also very green, so that's premature. Just throw it back into the tree for food. Tamarillos still hanging on. We'll just leave them on the tree and pick them as we go along. Sometimes they fall off the tree. There you go, here's one here I picked before, it was on the ground. So these hang on the tree pretty much all winter. Amazing, huh? And whilst we have them there, look at this. New shoot for next season. And the way to regrow this tamarillo is just take that off. Take this off here. And you put it into soil and you've got yourself a new tamarillo tree. It's that easy. Here you go. There's another one there. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. Free trees. They're just shoots. So it's sending new shoots everywhere. Here's one. A good one here. So throughout the tree, there's heaps and heaps of cuttings you can get to regrow this tamarillo. That's how you grow them. Or you grow them from seed. So what you do, from this one here that fell, let's see if we can find any seeds. No, not yet. Well, yep, there's one there. Anyway, there's a couple of seeds in there. That's the other way to get a tamarillo tree. Won't focus, hang on. Okay. There they are. There's a seed right there. So yeah, tamarillo. Beautiful. Midwinter, not a problem. And that's growing in a pot. And here is the last red one. The last red tamarillo. Remember the ones from Easter? Well, they're all gone. Except for this guy. Oh. Wow. Okay. There you go. Not a problem. They hang all winter. Look at these cute bananas here. Just hanging over the orange tree. And here I have the more conventional custard apple that's growing ever so slowly. This one has been in the ground for around 9 years, 8-9 years, this tree, and it's a whopper, as I've shown before, and it's got a few fruit on it, but still needs a couple of years to form its fruit or mature as a tree. It's got about half a dozen fruit, and there's another one there. Yeah, I think this is the African Pride. I'm not sure, I lost the label a long time ago, but it's doing really well, as you can see by the size of the tree in here in Melbourne over winter. It's massive, so I'm expecting big things from this over the years to come. And here is the babaco, which is a mountain papaya, sour, but pretty handy for green dishes. And the ice cream bean is pretty much coming along nicely. The fruit is setting and maturing, and as you can see up there, ready for harvesting. They're the big boys. We can eat those right now. If I let them fall, I can't find them. They disappear in the ground because there's a lot of vegetation at the bottom. So these guys started growing back in December, and when they fall down here, it's like good luck finding them. And this is the custard apple from the other side. It's about 3 meters tall now. And you can see some winter damage on the young bananas from the wind, the cold wind. This is a dwarf red daca. That's the damage. They bounce right back in spring with new leaves. That's a bird of paradise in the middle, a giant one which I just planted a year ago, so that's still very short. And the custard apple and the ice cream bean doing quite good for Melbourne's so-called harsh winter, which is really, you know, a joke. Not harsh at all when you compare it to the real cold parts of the world. It's more like heaven, you could say. And here we have another bunch of bananas and sugarcane. We're going to be cutting some sugarcane too over winter. We haven't picked any yet. And here's some more sugarcane, which I planted last year. This one still has another 6 to 12 months to go before we pick it. So yeah, here are the ice cream beans again. Some are ready, some are not. So what you're feeling, or what you're hearing I should say, is cold winter weather here in Melbourne. Even though it's sunny, that's why I made a video. The air is very cold. It's only like 11 Celsius, which is 50 Fahrenheit. There's some more sugar in there, sugar cane. Tons of sugar. So even though the air is cool, it's not deadly, guys. It's not deadly for subtropical fruit. If you're in a temperate climate, this is what you can expect to be growing, no matter how cold the wind feels, and no matter what anyone says. Because here's the evidence. Look at that. Ice cream beans everywhere. Look at that. Look how big the tree got. Only after 6 years. I can't even put it in the frame. So there's a lot more you can do in a temperate climate than just grow lemons and oranges. Yes, you can grow those too, which is a great, bonus. But as I've shown you, you can also grow subtropicals with your lemons and apples and cherries. You got the best of both worlds. So you got lemons here, you got the ice cream bean up there, standing all the way back now. Alright, the video wouldn't be complete without temperate climate avocados. Avocados coming very nicely here in Melbourne. These are full size avocados. Okay, full size. Not giant, but adequate. Adequate size. And this tree has over 20. This is the Hass, which is just skyrocketing all year round, including now in winter. I've had to actually trim the top 2 leading branches at the top, cut those off back in autumn, because they were almost as high as the house. Yeah, we don't want that. So that's one of 5 fruiting avocado trees we have here. Different varieties. And there's the lambhas. Lambhas with tons of fruit. Look at that. Tons. Another 20 or so fruit on this tree. So 20 on here. 20 on the regular Hass, and another 20 on the other 2 varieties that I have. So 60 avocados coming up this summer. And along here we have the citrus, which is king in winter and spring. So for the next 4 to 5 months, these guys will be dominating. We've already had a few pomelos. A few of them fell last week. And these oranges will be ready over September and October. Look at that. Amazing. So there's a lot more to it than just tropical, subtropical. There's also temperate, native climate fruit. There's a tangelo. Look at that. Amazing. Much more than just guavas and custard apples and avocados. You can grow it all, guys, in the temperate zone. And best of all, in summer, you can grow something that won't grow in the tropics, and that is these plums, Japanese blood plums, and these cherries. These are all sleeping now, but once I wake up in spring, off we go to a different climatic zone altogether. Cherries, plums, and apricots, and so on, all the stone fruit. And if that wasn't enough, here's some more citrus. These are grapefruits, ruby red flesh grapefruits. It's only a small tree. It's only like 3-4 years old, but it's loaded every year. It's just like a freak. Haven't done anything to it. No special attention. None. Look how short it is. I can put the camera right over it. Standing over it right now. And there's the George Washington navel. We've been eating this for the last 2-3 weeks. A ton of oranges off this. All ready to go. These are all ready. We're not waiting on these, we're eating these every day. But it's too cold. Isn't it too cold? Well, here's the loquats. These are subtropical. We love these ones. They just love the cold. And they've already set fruit. These are coming in October. Setting fruit over Melbourne's freezing cold winter, which is a joke because we swim all winter. And these babies are going to be growing over the next 4 months into big, juicy, sweet loquats. Look how many there are. There's another tree down there, different variety. And here, huge loquat tree, 25 years old. Massive. We have to go around. So big. There's the young one I planted 5 years ago, and that's always bursting. And these are set as well. These are much larger in size when they're ready. So I've got the large loquat and the small ones. They're the itty bitty ones up there. Yep. 2 of them. These were planted side by side. 2 trees. Right next to each other. And to wrap it all up, these are next year's white sapotes. Yeah, this just finished fruiting a couple of weeks ago, early June. And immediately, around the same time, it started flowering all over. I showed this one in the previous video. Almost every branch. And setting fruit. There you go. These fruits here we're going to be picking in April and May next year. Look at that. White sapote is a must. If you like subtropical fruit in temperate zones. One of the easiest trees to grow together with the loquat. Loquat and white sapote might as well be brother and sister. Might as well. Guaranteed success in cool temperate zones. It's literally packed with fruit. For next autumn and early winter. So that I don't go through every branch, I'm going to stand back and show you guys the size of the tree. It's only 5 years old, 5 to 6 years old. And it's like this on every branch. Now look at this. In the ground. Well, it's hard to tell with all the other green trees around it, but yeah. It's roughly 3 meters wide by 3 meters high. This is the Hawaiian Supreme variety, and supreme it is, with all these fruits growing over winter, only days after it finished feeding us last summer's crop. Amazing.